Hello, my name is Duncan Thorvalson, and this is my presentation on the Irish potato famine, titled The Great Hunger of Ireland by Duncan Thorvalson. First, a brief overview of Irish culture before the Irish potato famine. Did you know that Halloween actually originates from Ireland, and it was first practiced to celebrate the end of the harvesting season? The majority of the Irish population were farmers at the time, and thus this festival was very popular. St. Patrick's Day was also a popular celebration in Ireland. The people praised St. Patrick for bringing Catholicism to their land, a practice that greatly angered the Protestant English on the other side of the British Isles. Irish and British relations. On the 1st of January, 1801, the political union of Great Britain and Ireland became law, much to the dismay of the majority of Irish citizens. The first effect of this was a massive increase in anti-Irish and Catholic practices. For example, police brutality against Catholics in Ireland became rampant, and children were encouraged to become Protestant. The British government would also only help Protestant businesses. The second effect was that Britain forced Ireland to trade almost exclusively with them. Then, Britain jacked up the prices of goods and essentially destroyed the Irish economy, plunging much of its population into poverty. The third effect is that it became much more difficult for the average Irish family to be able to survive. As seen in the Van Gogh painting, The Potato Eaters, the average life of an Irish farmer was very dark and dreary. An introduction to phytothorin infestans. Phytothorin infestans originates from Mexico. It's unknown when they started, but it was almost certainly after potatoes were brought up to North America by Spanish colonizers. Phytothorin infestans are a fungi-like microorganism that grow and feed off of various plants. They are sometimes called water mold. You've likely seen this disease before. It commonly grows on leaves in Washington state. Later we'll discuss why phytothorin infestans are not considered dangerous anymore, and why you shouldn't worry about seeing them on any nearby plants. Understanding the spread of phytothorin infestans from Mexico. The phytothorin infestans spread from Mexico up the east coast of the United States of America, and from the U.S. coastline, the disease was shipped over to Belgium, where it mutated and became much more effective at spreading over swaths of land. Though the British knew of this more dangerous mutation of phytothorin infestans, they regardless continued to trade with Belgium. Eventually, the disease made its way to Ireland, where it once again mutated, this time into its most effective form ever documented. The Irish Holocaust, another name for the Irish potato famine, was in large part due to human control rather than the disease itself. The phytothorin infestan did kill the majority of potatoes. However, the island grew enough different types of crops that they still would have been able to feed their population of 8 million people. However, the non-potato crops grown were saved for trading with England and other nations. British Parliament voted that Ireland must continue exporting its food at the usual rate, threatening military action if they did not. This meant that the food supplies in Ireland ran extremely low, and it also led to mass starvation. Irish potato farmers lost their source of income, and at the peak of the Irish potato famine, 50% of the Irish population had no money at all. Here are some of the direct effects of the Irish potato famine. 1 million Irish civilians starved to death. Another 2.5 million immigrated from the country, most of them going to the United States of America. The Great Hunger, another name for the Irish potato famine, nearly halved the total population of Ireland. And to this day, the Irish population has not reached the 8 million it once had. Below are 3 drawings made during the Irish potato famine, 2 of them depicting a family scrounging around in the dirt for food, and the third one, on the right, showing hundreds of Irish civilians boarding a ship headed to the United States. Phytothorin infestans after the famine. As mentioned, phytothorin infestans still exist to this day, and you've likely seen them. However, it is not as effective or dangerous to plants as the Irish mutation. It's also important to know that the United States grows such a wide variety of crops that if the disease were to mutate again, it would likely not be that dangerous to the U.S. population. The Irish mutation of the disease went extinct within a few decades of the Great Hunger. No samples remain, meaning scientists are still not sure of its exact properties. Effects of the famine to this day. Due to the large number of the Irish population immigrating from Ireland, their cultural practices spread. It is in large part due to the Irish potato famine that we celebrate St. Patrick's Day in the United States. It's common for anyone in Ireland to put their hands in their pockets when shaking the hand of British royalty. You can actually see this if you look at videos of Irish celebrities greeting the royal family. And finally, a memorial was made in Dublin depicting a family wandering the streets in search for food. Here are the 5 main sources I used, either exploring Irish culture, the Irish potato famine, or the biology of Phytophthora infestans. Thus concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.